Look at the time. It's probably around 3 a.m., the house is completely dark, and your face is glowing with that familiar blue light. You know you should be asleep. Maybe you have a huge exam tomorrow or an early shift at work, and the panic of needing to wake up in a few hours is creeping in. But since your eyes refuse to close, you do what so many of us do. You grab your phone and start swiping through a random, endless feed of short videos, just trying to pass the time. If you listen to most advice out there, you'll hear that this late-night doom scrolling is a terrible, toxic habit that is actively destroying your sleep schedule. People blame this entirely on a broken attention span or a helpless addiction to a quick rush. But psychology tells a completely different story. When you're lying in bed exhausted, scrolling is a highly specific trick your brain attempts so it can finally drift off. You might not need to feel so guilty after all. Let's rewind to right before you picked up your phone. You were lying in the dark, and your mind was running a marathon, bouncing from awkward memories to tomorrow's to-do list. That intense mental pacing keeps your nervous system wide awake. As long as those loud, anxious thoughts are looping, your body physically cannot relax enough to initiate sleep. Researchers in the Journal of Clinical Psychology see this behavior as a way for your brain to steady itself. When your mind grabs onto that phone, it's like trying to steady a shaking hand. This is your brain's way of taking the wheel when thoughts veer off-road. By focusing on a stream of videos, you give your mind a heavy weight to carry. It forces that wild energy onto one single, manageable task. Reaching for your phone is a deliberate, if slightly clumsy, tool your brain uses to fight back against the anxiety keeping you awake. The goal here is to reach a specific point of mental exhaustion, a moment where your brain simply runs out of fuel it needs to keep worrying. Think of this like draining a battery. Every time you swipe to a new, disconnected piece of content, a cooking tutorial, then a dancing cat, then a movie clip, your brain has to spend a tiny bit of power to process what it is seeing. As you watch these clips one after another, that continuous demand quietly chips away at your remaining mental reserves. Your brain spends so much effort digesting this digital junk food that it eventually lacks the power to keep feeding your midnight anxiety. You can feel the exact moment it happens. Your eyelids get incredibly heavy, the screen gets blurry, and your grip loosens as you drift into dreamland. You've effectively used screen time as a makeshift sedative. You forced an overactive mind to exhaust itself on the internet so it would finally give up and shut down. Your 3 a.m. scrolling is a sign your mind is looking for quiet. You're managing an interminable storm the only way you currently know how. However, using exhaustion as a sleep aid is a pretty rough hack. We can treat the underlying anxiety directly without keeping you up until the early hours of the morning. That is why we put together a dedicated 5-part video series built specifically to help you unlearn the doom scroll loop. These videos walk you through methods to settle your nervous system and help you wind down naturally. We've also included an interactive test along the way. We call it the Attention Span Challenge, designed to measure your progress as you rebuild your focus. By trading your 3 a.m. scrolling habit for these proven psychological tools, you make it possible to fall asleep peacefully and wake up with a clear mind. To make it fun, we have a reward for anyone who makes it through all 5 videos. All you have to do is take a screenshot of your final score on the Attention Span Challenge and send it to our email address. Once we see your completed score, we will reply with an exclusive secret digital prize just for you. But you shouldn't start that journey right now. Wait until tomorrow when the sun is up and you are well rested. For tonight, if you're still fighting it, maybe you can watch just one more video. We won't tell. But after that, put the phone face down and close your eyes. Understanding how your brain works is the first step to feeling better. Taking action tomorrow is how you actually reclaim your rest. Good night.